tempers flared, nerves shattered, hearts in mouths. But West Brom, hold on. This wasn't just a 2-1 win over Preston. This was a war of mentality, quality, and pure chaos. 2 goal of the season contenders in one match, a 99th minute world-class save, and moments of pure brilliance mixed in with complete madness. And I'll be honest, I went through every emotion possible watching this game. Let's break it all down for you, from the team selection to the final whistle, because there's a lot to unpack. Let's get into another match day review, and it is obviously of West Brom versus Preston. Before we break it down though, let's set the like target to 20 likes on this video. Obviously leave a comment, let me know your thoughts on the game, who you liked, who you didn't like. Favourite goal out of the two, for me, it's got to be Mikey Johnston, absolute screamer. And don't forget to subscribe as well. Brought the numbers down a little bit from the weekend, but still over 55% of you still aren't subscribed. So subscribe, hit that bell notification so up to date with everything we're doing on the channel. And obviously, I appreciate you all being here. We've got sponsors with classic retro shirts as well. So if you want to head over in the link in the description of this video, discount code for you guys, everything. So get over there and check it out. Discord as well in the description below. So you can come and join the Discord, come and have chats with us. Running a competition in there as well. So make sure you get involved in that one. And of course, you can become a channel member as well and get access to exclusive badges, emojis, and all of that good stuff as well. So make sure you check that out. And let's get into it and start first of all with the team selection. And for me, honestly, bar probably one position, I thought it was spot on. Griffiths in goal, absolutely fantastic. He's nailing that #1 spot for us. After a lot of worry at the start of the season, he has been, a real good, well, I was going to say addition because he feels like an addition for us. Because he's been spending a lot of time out on loan, but he's been absolutely fantastic. Backline looked on paper solid. Styles, Mepham, and also Phillips, absolutely fantastic. Midfield, this is what we've been looking for. Collyer and Mowatt in the midfield. We worried a little bit after the Millwall game about Collyer, but it looked like he needed somebody with a bit more smarts next to him in terms of Mowatt, and they worked really well together. Balanced, intelligent, grit, creativity. They gave us a structure defensively and allowed us to be fluid in transition. Width, wow. How good did our wingers look? Johnston, Illing Jr., absolutely brilliant. Stretching the pitch, isolating fullbacks and giving us an outlet every time. Pricing that number 10 role, just absolutely brilliant. This lad plays like he's been doing it at this level for 10 plus years. Movement, intelligence, confidence. He glides between the lines. And what a lot of people don't realise about Price is he makes so many intelligent runs off the ball that stretches the play for everyone else to, play into. So you like your Johnston, Illing Jr., Madger, people like that. That wouldn't be possible without the way that Price plays, and I think we've got to give him a little bit of credit for that one. Up top, Madger, link-up play quality, knitted things together really well, but I still think he's carrying something. After 10, 15 minutes, he looked like he was blowing out his arse. He looked knackered. He looked not interested, which was a bit worried, to be fair, and a slight lack of explosiveness. He's doing well, but he's not 100% fit in my eyes, and I don't think he's quite comfortable in himself. He had a really good chance where he took it around the defender, and instead of hitting it, he tried to take it again and again, and it's like, that's not magic. If he'd have had that chance last year, he'd have buried that one. So I think he's still carrying something. Look, and then Campbell at right back. Look, he does a job fantastically at defending, and that's what he's there for. But if we want someone going forward and to, stretch the right side for us, then we need to be playing Gilchrist, in my opinion. And that's where really would be the only change I'd make. Gilchrist's energy, physicality, and aggression, I think going forward, he offers so much more. There's a couple of times where Campbell got to the edge of the box and tried to put a ball into the box and it didn't beat the first man. It looked almost like it was just hitting hope balls into the box. And I think Gilchrist might offer a lot more in that sort of area to us. But as I say, defensively, Campbell did really well to keep their wingers quiet. So overall, the lineup was almost perfect, and you could see the tactical plan from minute one. First half was even cagey and then a little bit of magic. First half started balanced, both teams feeling each other out, no one really dominating, but I thought we had better structure and looked more dangerous in spurts. Preston had their moments, and let's talk about a penalty shout. Now this, controversy incoming, Preston fans are screaming, our fans are praying. Collyer goes in, does contact, but does he win the ball first? For me, I think he just nicks it. I've seen a couple of different angles. I think he just about gets a toe on it to knock it away. But if that's for my team, I'm screaming penalty all day long. It's one of those 50-50s where whatever the ref gives, VAR, if we were in the Championship, would probably overturn it. We got the rubber going, and let's be honest, then it was, yeah, just so close. And then we nearly shoot ourselves in the foot straight after that. An awful backwards pass. I don't know what we were doing. We gift them position in a horrendous area. Mowatt gets completely outpaced. Like, he looked like he was running in custard. It was awful. Our strikers through on goal. I'm thinking, here we go. 1-0 Preston, and the game's going to set up for them now because we're going to have to attack them a bit more. But credit where credit's due. Griffiths comes out, closes him down, makes the angle small, and he makes a fantastic save. I think the striker's got to do so much better here. Their striker's got to be burying that chance. Even if he just lifts the ball, he scores. So yeah, for me, fantastic save by Griffiths, but their striker's got to be doing so much more. And then the moment of the half, Mikey Johnston, take a bow. What a hit, son. What a hit. 25 yards out, no right to shoot, and he smashes it into the one place the keeper's getting nowhere near, and that is the top corner. The net just, honestly, it was perfect. Keeper tried to get close to it, but it was not even in the same postcode. One of those goals where everyone just stands up and claps. And I think Preston fans looking through on social media, you guys have said, we've been done by 2 world-class goals. The stadium went insane. Players went insane. I went insane. Going to half-time 1-0 up. Deserved? I'd say slightly, yeah. We had the moment of quality and they didn't. I think that was the difference. We had quality in our finishes, whereas they didn't. Second half starts and the pressure is on us. We're under the cosh. Preston came flying out the blocks. We knew they were going to do that. High press, long shots, overloads on the wings. They had territory, they had intensity. But, and I think this is important, we forced them into areas where they didn't want to play. We forced them to 25, 35-yard shots. We stayed compact. We didn't panic. Defensively organised, mature performance. And I think that's really, really, fantastic of us. We're so much under the cosh by a very, very good team. Remember, they were 4th going into this game in the season. They are a very good attacking team. To keep them penned back and, shooting for 25, 30 yards, I think was fantastic. And then, again, we produced another moment of sheer magic, this time from Isaac Price. Ball played into him by Mowatt after, I would say, fouling the Preston player in the middle of the park. I know a lot of people would say it's 50-50, but he does have 2 arms on him and he does give him a bit of a shove. I thought the ref was going to give it, but to be fair to ref, he did let a lot go in sort of, duels and battles and stuff like that. He plays on, gets the ball played into Price. He composes himself, cuts it in on his right foot and just finesses it into the top corner. And you're sitting there thinking, I've just seen 2 probably the best goals I've ever seen down the Hawthorns in a long, long time in one game. You sit there thinking, which one's going to be goal of the season, let alone goal of the month or anything like that. They are absolutely fantastic. The technique, the placement, the calmness. Obviously, Isaac Price is just such a special player. 2-0, crowd is buzzing. I'm thinking, right, we kill it now. But no, we're Albion fans. We know what's going to happen next. We sit deep and deep and deep. And this is where I get frustrated. Instead of going for the kill and putting 3 or 4, past Preston, we step back and then further back. And then we're playing in our own boxes and almost inviting them onto us. I don't know if it was just tactical or natural game state after going 2-0 up, but we lost our grip a little bit. We stopped pressing their build-up, and eventually the mistake becomes. Maybe after Collyer goes off, that's when we start to lose a little bit of grip in the field. Styles and Mepham, go for the same ball, end up missing it. Their striker picks it up, squares it across to their other striker who's got pretty much an open goal and slots it home. And it's 2-1. And you're thinking, oh, here we go again. West Bromwich Albion, masters of their own downfall. And, you sit there thinking, this is just, we're inviting Preston back onto us. And it's almost like their goal almost switched us on a little bit, because we started getting a couple more chances to kill the game off, and we had a massive opportunity to end it. The ball gets played into William Jr., and he's pretty much got the open side of the goal to score from, and he heads it and he misses the target. If he scores, it's 3-1, game over. Instead, he puts it wide, I say, not even on target, and you're just thinking, it's going to be one of these days. Final 10 minutes, you know what's coming. Every ball into the box felt dangerous. Every second felt like an hour. Preston throwing everything forward, just trying to survive the last 30 seconds of the game. And then the 90 plus 9th minute, I don't know where the ref got 9 minutes added on. I would like to know where he's pulled that from. But Preston winger cuts it in on his right foot to bend it in, and you're thinking, oh, here we go. This is going to nestle in the top corner, isn't it? But what a save. What a save from Griffiths to keep us in that game. Absolutely full stretch, fingertipped it round the corner, saves the entire game, saves the points, and saves my sanity as a West Bromwich Albion fan from us going 2-0 up and throwing it away. And it could be possibly one of the best late saves I've seen, you know. Against Norwich, he was exactly the same, making some fantastic saves when we were under it. And he is fantastic, in my opinion. Full-time whistle gets blown, 2-1 win, nervy, but it's a huge 3 points. Look, I think we made it much harder than it needed to be. But when you're winning and you're under pressure, that's a sign of a good team. We showed quality in attack, structure in midfield, grit in defence, and the mentality to survive. Was it perfect? No, of course it wasn't perfect. Was it entertaining? Absolutely. The person next to me said it was like a basketball game, you know, end to end, end to end, end to end, and it was fantastic. And was it a massive 3 points? Of course it was. 100% 3 points puts us back into the playoffs, and you know, really solid, makes us a solid choice for being up there towards the next couple of games, in my opinion. Man of the match for me, it's a tough choice. Griffiths was unbelievable. Price was brilliant. Mowatt with class. Collyer even looked brilliant. But for me, there's going to be one answer, and it's Mikey Johnston. He was everywhere, driving at defenders, stretching the pitch, always a threat. Scored that screamer. And he really did cause Preston problems all game, from the first whistle to when he got brought off. Absolutely fantastic. And that is a Mikey Johnston that we know and love. And if he can keep that level going throughout the season, he's going to have fun for the rest of the year, and we're going to enjoy watching him. Unstoppable at times, easily man of the match for me. So my final thoughts on this: team selection was almost perfect. Midfield balance was finally there. Bryson Johnston, different makers. Illing Jr. again looked fantastic. Griffiths really making that number one spot his own. We do need to stop sitting deep after going 2-0 up or scoring. You know, we need to get straight back into the other team and go for it again. But overall, it's a statement win. And if we build on this, if we keep the structure, if we add Gilchrist in for Campbell, we're going to be very hard to beat. Let me know, who would you give man of the match to, Johnson or Price? And obviously, who's your favourite goal out of the two of them? Because either way, we've got players stepping up everywhere. What a win that was. Thank you very much, everybody. And I'll catch you in tomorrow's episode, which is the Watford preview for Wednesday. Bye-bye, guys.